Okay, folks, we're at Hikers Welcome Hostel in what is it? What's the
Glencliff, New Hampshire.
Glencliff, New Hampshire.
That's right.
Everybody has to help me with the towns and where we're at all the time. I get those confused.
You've been through a lot of them, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So, what's your trail name?
That would be Famous Amos.
Famous Amos. And how did you get that name?
Well, my real name is Amos, and from there we were walking down the trail talking about names that would be disadvantageous because they remind hikers of food. And with that, I said, well, it'd be like if I was named Famous Amos, it'd be a bad idea because it reminds people of cookies. And one of the through hikers I was with at the time was like, there you go, there's your trail name. So there you have it. But yeah, it's not that much of a stretch. I've been called Famous Amos even before I got on the trail. So it's, yeah, that's an easy one.
So I first met you back in Warwick, Vermont.
Norwich, right?
Norwich, Vermont.
Norwich.
And you were cooking up a dish there. I was cooking a dinner and you was cooking something else. What was that dish?
I was cooking some curried chickpeas, or chana masala,
Yeah.
as they might call it in India. But I was told that it was good. I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, I had it with some rice, and you were cooking up a much more sort of elaborate feast. I remember you had, what'd you have? Some chicken and some potatoes.
Yeah, chicken,
and some corn.
and
Man, people love that.
Yeah.
People loved all of it, really.
I think it all went together well.
Yeah, it's well. I'm sure you can agree. It's pretty satisfying to be able to take some time to cook a meal from scratch after so many dehydrated meals, right? That we've had out on the trail.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a good night there at Jenny's, right, in
Yep.
Norwich, Vermont.
Yep. Yep. So, so you're doing a northbound hike, and you're doing it in a big section. So, what's the section you're doing?
It's a long section hike that started in Pawling, New York, on June 15th. Yeah, I started with a friend of mine named. He took on the trail named Fairy Dust. And he ended up having some issues with his footwear and with his feet, so he had to take some extra time to rest back in Manchester Center, Vermont. So yeah, at that time I started getting ahead of him a bit, and at this point I think he's a few days behind, but yeah, and now we're here and it's July 21st, and yeah, so I guess I'm a little more than 5 weeks in.
Okay. And what do you like most about being on the trail?
Well, it's a sense of freedom that I can go out and sort of choose my own adventure every day, really. I mean, yeah, you can set kind of a loose sort of plan about, yeah, I want to sleep here at this shelter or at this campsite. But just kind of being able to set your own pace and hike your own hikes, pretty rewarding in a way that, yeah, it's might be difficult to understand if you haven't taken the time to do backpacking. But I did come to this trip with some backpacking experience out west, primarily. But this is certainly the longest trip that I've had in my sort of backpacking career, as it is. So yeah, I mean, and another common question is, well, why bother with a long hike like this? And for me, yeah, I do enjoy the social aspect. I mean, that's something special about the Appalachian Trail that you don't get on every other trail. I mean, maybe the Pacific Crest Trail has some social aspect to it, as well as the trail angel culture. But I think it's significantly stronger out here. I mean, of course, there's more people, there's more roads for trail angels to do their thing when they're there. And yeah, but even aside from that, I see this as kind of a training. I'm trying to sort of benchmark my abilities so that I can take these skills and this sort of fitness, knowing that I can do a long trip and take it out west to hopefully some of the more remote trails in places like Utah and Idaho, where I'm from, and maybe, you know, up in the Northwest, just the West, the American West in general. There's a lot of trails out there, of course, that are a lot less crowded than this. So it'd be real nice to spend some more time out there, now knowing that I can, you know, plan for a longer trip like this.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Hope to see you out on the trail.
Thanks, Crazy Tree.